The door closed without a slam. That was the loudest part. "Get out. You don't belong here," she said, voice shaking, eyes already somewhere else. I nodded. I always nodded. I picked up my coat, left my phone on the table like I always did, and walked past the family photos that still had my fingerprints on the glass. 2 hours later, the sheriff arrived. They froze. I didn't leave because I was guilty. I left because I finally understood the shape of the trap. 15 years is long enough to learn a house's breathing, the way the hallway light hums at night, the way trust settles into the floorboards and stops creaking. I raised her daughter from 10 to 25. Homework, first breakup, college move-in. I taught her how to drive. She learned how to lie. When my wife looked at me that night, she wasn't seeing me. She was seeing a story, already rehearsed, a trembling voice, a claim whispered through tears, a single sentence that burns faster than evidence. He made me feel unsafe. That sentence doesn't need proof. It needs distance. So I gave them distance. I stepped into the cold and stood there until my breath slowed. I didn't call anyone. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. Defense looks like guilt when fear is hungry. I walked to my car and drove to the motel I'd bookmarked 3 years earlier. Not because I planned this, because I planned for storms even on clear days. The truth didn't arrive with a revelation. It arrived with a detail. She said it happened in the garage, Tuesday, late. But Tuesday night, the garage camera was offline, not broken, unplugged. I remembered her asking about the cameras last month, said she was curious, said she wanted to feel safer. I remembered nodding. I remembered the cable slightly out of place when I fixed the lawnmower. Pain came first, a physical thing, heavy, crushing. Then it passed. Planning replaced it. I didn't confront. I documented. I pulled cloud backups, door sensors, vehicle logs, credit card timestamps, her phone's location, shared family account, still active because no one thought to cut me off. I printed everything. I highlighted nothing. Highlighters scream. Silence convinces. I hired a lawyer before sunrise, not a loud one, a patient one, the kind who listens like a safe cracking. By noon, I had a restraining order filed against me, based entirely on her statement. My wife signed it with a hand that used to steady mine. I smiled at the irony. Paper cuts deeper when it's blank. The execution was simple, clean, legal. I didn't call the sheriff. I called my lawyer. He filed a request for welfare check on me. The restraining order required it. He attached evidence as supplemental material, cameras, logs, timestamps, a sworn statement from the neighbor who saw her boyfriend's car that Tuesday night, a boyfriend my wife didn't know existed. We waited. At 3:14 p.m., the sheriff's SUV pulled into the driveway of the house I was no longer allowed to approach. I watched from across the street, sitting in my car, hands steady on the wheel. The deputy knocked, then knocked harder. I saw my wife's face through the window. Confusion first, then fear, the wrong kind. They asked questions, polite, procedural. Then they asked for the garage footage. Silence. They asked for her phone. She laughed, too loud, too fast. I stepped out of the car then, slow, visible, non-threatening. I handed over a folder. No speech, no accusations, just wait. Paper has gravity. The freeze wasn't dramatic. It never is. It's a look. The moment the deputy stops nodding, the moment the pen pauses mid-air. They separated them. They always do. Truth hates company. My stepdaughter cried, the practiced kind at first, then the real kind, the kind that cracks when lies collide with timestamps, when the unplugged cable becomes intentional, when the boyfriend's texts sync perfectly with the camera blackout. My wife didn't cry. She went pale. She kept saying my name like it was a question. I didn't answer. The sheriff read rights. The words landed softly, final. My stepdaughter sank into a chair she used to sprawl across as a child. I felt nothing. That surprised me. The fallout was quiet. Charges filed, statements taken. The restraining order dissolved like mist. The house went up for sale under legal advice I didn't need to repeat. I moved my things while the rooms were empty, like a museum after closing. My wife tried to talk, once. I didn't know who to believe, she said. I did. Belief is a choice, so is betrayal. Now I sit alone, not lonely. There's a difference. I replay the night she told me to leave, the certainty in her voice, the way she didn't ask a single question. Justice didn't require shouting, it required patience. I didn't ruin her life. I let the truth walk in on its own legs. I just held the door. 15 years ended in a sentence. I answered with silence, and silence won.